What will you do if there is a doll in front of you? You might say you will play with it, but I say not. Yeah, don't touch that thing, not before you know where it came from. Because let's say, for example, that it turns out to be possessed. Then what is the worst outcome? The worst case scenario is that the possession transfers to you. That's why we have to discuss and talk about the next dude, Jeremy. He owns a doll in his house, and ever since he brought it into his home, it has never been the same. So, even though he knows exactly what is the cause of all his headaches, if we exclude his girlfriend, he still won't get rid of his doll. The doll has caused the house to become haunted, but Jimmy still doesn't want to leave it out. As for the next videos, in one occurrence, he was sleeping. He was awakened by some noise. His sleep was disrupted, so he had to figure it out. Turns out that the noise was coming from his bedroom door, right where he was. It was as if someone was knocking. When he approached it, it abruptly stopped. But when he opened the door, another door was slammed on his face. It wasn't the door of love, it was his bathroom door. Now, an even scarier event occurred where he had to test the limits of these dolls, so he placed a Ouija board right in front of the doll and wanted to see its reaction, in which the planchette moved slightly by itself. Perhaps the scariest event to me and the weirdest in general was when he walked into his room and found his shirt hanging in the air before falling again, even though there were no wires attached to it or anyone visible who could have been holding it.
So someone suggested I try using one of these boards to try and see if it'll say anything. I'm not going to touch the little plastic piece because obviously then it would look weird if it moved. So I'm just going to ask it questions and see if it moves the thing at all. Do you have a name? What is your name? You have to move the little plastic piece to reveal letters and spell something. It just moved. All right, I'm done. I'm not doing it. I know I haven't posted in a couple days, but I've been staying out of my room because it just got to be too much. But I swear, I'm hearing voices coming from there the last like 20 minutes. Knocking on my bedroom door. Hello? Hello? Just leave it alone. It's knocking again. Can you please stop? I really want to sleep. What do you want? Can you answer me? What is it that you want? Please stop.
Imagine walking into your room and finding your shirt right there midair, hanging, and you would be like, how did this ghost know I was going to wear this today? Jake Ghost Hunt, a name you might have heard of before. But that's your problem, because I have never shared a video from this person before, which brings me to my next point. Why is he here today? Why wasn't he here before? Well, maybe because I have only discovered his channel lately. He and his friend decided it was time to conduct an investigation in yet another haunted location, a location you may have heard of, and it seems like you have been doing a lot of research if that's the case. They both went to the Huntington County Historical Museum. Jake also brought his dad with him for some reason, though he wasn't shown in the video as much, but his touch was left there. So, some context regarding the place and its haunting history from the lady who works there. The site once housed a feed mill, later an auto parts store, and eventually became the museum in 1999. She mentions past reports of objects mysteriously moving but is unsure if the building is truly haunted. Some believe the spirit in the video is Dave Hine, a beloved museum volunteer, while others speculate it could be tied to artifacts, possibly Native American relics. There was a footage captured by one of the security cameras where a shadow figure manifestation can be seen, which was the main driver for this team to come and investigate. As they arrived, they used the REM pod and motion sensors to detect any possible spirit or ghost, and things got chilling. No, seriously, my air conditioning froze my room. When it comes to the investigation, they captured some interesting evidence, like an orb floating in front of Jake, some faint sounds of what could be a female voice, and really loud spooky hissings. Perhaps the clearest evidence of a possible paranormal activity was the footsteps on the balcony, but when the piano played by itself, I lost it.
Watch over by the staircase in this original video as you can see the black mass move up the stairs, turn around, and go back out the door. As we zoom in on this figure, you can clearly see its transparent qualities. And if we zoom in even further, you can see it moving behind the railing of the staircase. As it exits the room, we are left wondering, who or what is this apparition? Moments after that first clip, the figure comes back again. In this second video, the figure has what appears to be a hand which is glowing white. Then as it turns to leave, it disappears into the darkness. We have a motion sensor right here. Right here where the ghost was captured walking through, and we're gonna find out who or what that might be. Is there anybody in here? That's from us walking past. That's another motion light on this chair. Where do you want to go first? I kind of start up here.
Yeah, let's go up top.
If you're mad about it.
Did you hear that?
What? Was it that?
It literally sounded like something fell down.
No, I didn't hear anything.
It was right when you were talking, so you couldn't hear it. I swear.
Where at? Was it down or?
It sounded like it was like down, like there maybe.
Are you serious? By where the stuff?
I'm 100%.
Wasn't I just talking about the stuff moving?
Yeah.
Was that you? Can you do that again?
I really hope this camera got it. That was crazy.
Dude, I just got like a tingle. I feel really nervous. I don't know why. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Can you do that again?
It's like what we were capturing on the camera.
What was that?
What was that? It sounded like a lady screaming.
Yes. Only seconds after we heard a distant bang coming from somewhere in the museum, we hear a woman's voice calling out to us.
Bring on the camera. Bring on the camera. No one. Looking down there. No one walking down the street.
Dude.
There's no one in.
It is at this moment that we captured one of the strangest pieces of evidence we have ever caught. Pay attention behind Noah as a strange pair of glowing eyes are glaring out at us. We are unable to conclude whether or not these eyes are paranormal, but if they are, what was staring at us from the darkness?
Dave, if you're here, can you speak into this
What was that?
I don't know. That was clear. That was a clear male voice.
Yeah. Alright, go.
Dave, was that you? Can you speak into this again? Where did you come from?
Are you attached to an object in here? I want to go up. No!
What?
Shuffling way out there. By that gas pump.
Are you out there?
You don't like this REM pod, do you? We've had this REM pod on since we got here, literally an hour ago. Not once has the heat sensor gone off, not once has it gone off at all.
There's an orb that went right into your head.
No. At the exact same time that we capture 3 unexplained voices coming through the spirit box, we also capture an orb slowly floating towards my head. This is even more compelling when you consider that all night I have been feeling uneasy and lightheaded.
There's an orb that's went right into your head.
No. Can you come down the stairs towards us? We have some gear that'll be able to see you there. Maybe just come down and join us down here. We're gonna go lights out for you once that light goes off. Was that the car echoing, or was that some...
What the hell was that?
Was it the car echoing?
No. That was inside the building.
Hello? Did that stair just creak? Hello? Right there, right there.
Is somebody walking up there?
That was clear footsteps, bro.
It was over there, over there, over there again. Back over here. And this was right.
Dude, that was literally right there. Can you maybe try coming down these steps right here? Or can you walk past those green lights? Was that you? Did you hear that? Did you hear?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay, it sounded like a hissing noise coming from the back of the building.
As we are asking questions, we hear a hiss coming from the back of the building. Unsure of who or what caused it, we ran.
Move your. There's that one. Okay. What was that? Did you hear that?
As we are discussing the pains in our ears, we hear loud footsteps playing from the security camera feedback on our iPad. A security camera which is located in the main room where my dad is currently waiting for us.
No, dude.
Dad, was that you?
Real funny, guys.
No, was that you?
We heard that.
Dad, was that you?
That's funny.
No.
What?
We were recording. That was... Well, okay, you have to tell us... No, you have to tell us what that...
We're serious.
Footsteps.
We heard that on the camera. It wasn't recording, but we caught it on this. We caught it on this.
We thought it was like inside.
I thought you were messing.
Going back up.
No, you weren't messing with us?
No.
You serious?
Noah,
was
Noah, come here. We need you to come here. Tell us where it came from.
I'm not going back.
Okay, here, right here. Just tell us where it came from.
It sounded like it was up there on top.
Okay, so we were investigating in this main room. My dad was waiting out here behind these double doors in the big room. And we heard clear as day on the camera, because we have a camera in here recording. We heard, and my dad heard, 3 loud footsteps up here on the stairs. So we're gonna take Noah's phone, and we're gonna place it in here for now. While the phone was upstairs recording, we captured these sounds. Hey, so you're extremely active now. I think you're warming up, but you're only doing things away from us. Can you maybe make the REM pod go off over there? Heard your footsteps. Heard a sound up there. Yell, do something.
Dude, what?
It happened again.
I didn't hear nothing.
It happened again. It happened again. You there now?
Yeah.
Oh my. Hello? Dude, those mannequins scared me so. The piano just played by itself!
The glowing eyes part was dismissed to be some sort of a ghostly manifestation, but then debunked by them as they mistook the lights from outside to be something sinister. But everything else is probably some scary paranormal activity, unless the father added anything extra. I'm not someone who likes to install many security cameras in my house. The last thing I want to see is some sort of a djinn or a ghostly apparition in my house, and remember every time that I want to go to sleep that I'm not living alone. But when it comes to the entrance door of my house, I think that's the only place where I shouldn't recommend installing a security camera. Which brings me to Emma, not the actress, someone else, someone you should not be able to recognize. She was once sitting alone at night watching TV in the living room, because that's where the TV usually is, thinking that nothing could disrupt her cozy night, not before she heard noises at her door. Strange, but it might be some cat or someone. When she checked, there was none at her door. That spooked her a little, but what followed was the deal breaker. When the doorknob began rattling, she picked up her phone and decided to record the event, where she heard voices saying stuff she claimed to be mimicking her own. It was not so clear, but a couple of nights after, the same scary events repeated, and this time around, the voices were saying, "Let me in." It was like a ghost demanding a human to invite them to haunt their house.
And this is why I can't call the cops, because when I go to look, there's no one there. I know it's hard to see, but I'm not opening the door. There's like no one out there, and like, this is a window. There's no people, but this is a window, and you can really see out there. And it's hard to see out there. So I don't know what the hell is going on.
In my opinion, opening the door would have been the wrong decision because that would have been the message they wanted to receive to haunt the house. You should have rotated to the backyard door. They wouldn't have caught you. A couple decided they wanted to stay in Florida, which I don't honestly know whether it was a good choice financially or not, since I heard that it's not the cheapest state, but it's not the financial situation we want to focus on here. No, it's far worse, maybe not far worse when it comes to me. But for them, it was. Johnny and Dagana, they decided to stay in a house they knew previously was haunted, which means the landlord had already told them about it. And as a generous man, and I'm talking about the landlord here, not myself, he decided to decrease the rent for them based on the fact that the house is haunted. He gave them a discount of $200. So, if the house was going for $2,400, it's now $200 cheaper, and you still get to live with a ghost. And who knows, maybe in a year or two, you might end up at some asylum. However, they both accepted the deal, and they paid a big price because of that decision, as they began immediately experiencing the paranormal. For example, they were once sitting watching the TV with their dog when all of a sudden an object was thrown off its place mysteriously, or should I say, only by the ghost, since they are aware of the hauntings. Their dog was also once sitting on the couch alone when he was disrupted from his sleep by some noise. Dagana was sitting, trying to confront the ghost by asking it to do that again. Now you might be wondering, what am I referring to by doing that? What's that for? Well, she heard noises and she couldn't tell where their source was, so she asked the ghost to repeat the activity again. Her husband had had enough of it. He was fed up, and he decided to step up for his wife and try to confront the ghost face on, but ended up in the arms of his wife. As she saw that his arm hair stood and he got goosebumps, she tried to calm him down. He was once walking into his kitchen when the EMF device was knocked out of its place. So scary, yet there is one more, where the Christmas snow globe was turned on by itself right in front of Johnny's presence.
What's in the shower?
And it even seemed to have gait.
Did you see him?
You could see shoulders and arms and legs as it walked away.
He started banging on the bottles in the
I'm
shower.
baffled by that.
Boom, 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 boom.
Usually when people see light
Right next to me, I went to pee.
a ball look like, whether it's in the sky or in your basement. The entire time that we see it, and it's acting in a way that is very unusual and strange. I'm coming. I don't know what it is. This is a really bizarre phenomenon.
What? What then?
I went to pee,
Mm-hmm.
and it was banging on the walls, and this was moving, and the bottles were up and down.
Did you see him?
No, hell no, I ran. This was moving, and I could hear the bottles moving, and the banging on the walls.
This is crazy. I'm alone here. Somebody's knocking. Can you do that again? Oh my God. I'm alone. It's always when I'm alone. Can you do that again? But I'm getting scared. Do it again.
Were you knocking? Were you knocking? Oh my god. This just started playing by itself.
What the? What the? What the?
As a landlord, instead of scaring people off and trying to steal their money, I would just go on and sell the house and buy a different property if I'm trying to make some money off of it, because otherwise, I would only earn a bad reputation. I don't know what's with people living in a property where an ugly event took place, and I'm trying to be as friendly as possible here. But the next video is edited, which means it was cut and shortened, not by me, but rather the uploader. I don't know where it starts, but I know exactly where it ends, because I saw the clip. The video kicks off with somebody recording a slightly open door, a perfect setup for a ghost to slam it shut if the place happens to be haunted, which unsurprisingly it was. As the door slams shut, the man rushes backward because he was too scared to confront the ghost. When he enters the bedroom, he straight up goes to the bathroom, where he turns around to see one of the scariest scenes you may encounter. And no, it was not his reflection in the mirror, it was the long black arm on the glass of the shower door. He runs out of the bathroom immediately, scared, and he locks the door behind him, which is followed by the knockings on the door. Eventually, the video ends when the man goes up to the ventilation window, where a loud woman's scream sends the man scurrying for his life. I have so many questions here, but before I ask one of them, I should inform you that it said that a woman was taken down here and the body was hidden inside the vents of the house, as the source says. Now, I don't know how wide these vents are, but if they are as small from the inside as they look, then it might have been an ugly process to get her in there. Not to forget that this story might not be true after all. I also heard stories that you haven't subscribed or watched the next video on screen.